Hello and welcome to chapter 253 of my streaming adventure. What I have for you today is a little bit of a combo deck. Now, this is something that I myself have wanted to play. Actually, I've played a version of it in the past, but I think that was prior to us getting, I think it's Malevolent Hermit, Otawara, and what is this? Step Through. I don't think any of those options were available to us the last time around that I played it. Especially what those are is Malevolent Hermit is something that you can play out early and kind of give you a mana leak on a stick, but the fact that it's an ability that comes from the Hermit that they can't necessarily counter back against. Then also, Step Through has Wizard Cycling, and Malevolent Hermit and Thassa's Oracle are both wizards for us. So it's a way to have extra copies of the combo, because we already have extra copies of Paradigm Shift and Thought Lash as the, eject my library to get down to 0 card. Well, okay, maybe I should explain the combo. The combo is Thassa's Oracle lets you win the game if your devotion is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library. So if Paradigm Shift exiles your library and can make it a sufficiently low number, then Thassa's Oracle says, congratulations, you've worked hard, you win the game. Now, Thought Lash can do that also. This includes a lot of clicks as you remove your cards from the game. But also, Thought Lash can do things that help prevent damage and maybe keep you alive to piece together the rest of the combo. Jace's static ability, and I guess the static ability of the card is what will let you win, similar to Thassa's Oracle, so that if you had no cards in library and you use Jace, you mill 2 cards, draw a card, you have no cards, you win the game instead. So it is definitely the weaker version of the Oracle effect, but it's still an effect. And then things we have in our sideboard, Hercule's Recall can mess with, really the 8-cast decks that exist or things like that have the ability to play out things quick if we could just buy a little bit of time. Then Chalice of the Void, what I've seen... Oh, and by the way, I need to shout out to Punishing Waterfalls. I have been watching them stream the deck, catching them on YouTube, and it kind of reminded me that I have played this deck in the past. Actually, we've got Thassa's Oracle. We've got, if I can reach it, we've got our Paradigm Shifts. We're ready to go. I can play this in paper, and I actually have played similar things in the past. I just like the interface of doing it online, because it's definitely going to be a lot faster. So yeah, definite shout out to them. The sideboard just lets us, kind of set ourselves up depending on the matchup we're facing. Like, we want to be a fast combo deck, but if we have to interact with them, or something like Leyline of the Void and Helm of Obedience, if we can swerve a little bit, maybe that works out for us. Before we get started, I want to say, if you aren't already, consider following the stream and go find us on YouTube. Swish Gaming YT. You can find us over there. Find old streams. Find all the other content that we've been producing, and definitely subscribe to us over on YouTube if you aren't already. We're trying to build up the numbers there. Thank you much. Blue Fuzzy Crocs. Yeah, exactly. It's similar to like Lab Maniac, except what's great about Thassa's Oracle doesn't kind of wait around. It's a trigger that goes on the stack and just decides that you win immediately. So we're using the Helm in the side as kind of a juke, but ideally, that's the plan. So follow the Swish Gaming everywhere you can. Also, shout out to Mana Traders. The very top of the screen, you can see we have a link that helps sponsor the stream and helps support, you know, what I do here. It lets me play all the different decks that I do. I really wouldn't be able to do it without that. So shout out to Mana Traders. All right. Anything else? Let's start playing some matches. We're jumping to a Legacy League. We have our deck loaded. Let's go. The other thing I didn't mention before, the Malevolent Hermit. Once the Malevolent Hermit flips, non-creature spells you control can't be countered. I mean, that sitting out there is kind of like you're going to win any kind of counterspell fight if you have to. Although you don't have that many. Like, you have Force of the Will. And I guess once you bring in Force Negation if you need it. But it's more the idea of making sure your thing resolves. Like, I really want this Paradigm Shift to land. If you have a flipped Hermit, there's nothing they can do about it. And that's definitely what you want in a combo deck, right? You want the ability to have a proactive game plan, potentially, but a proactive game plan that your opponent can't mess with. Because a lot of decks sometimes will be reactive, and if a deck is reactive, there's always a possibility that your answers don't line up with the questions or, you know, threats that your opponent is asking. So there are no wrong threats. There can only be wrong answers. I believe is David Price, which potentially shows my age, and people watching this might be, who's Dave Price? If you have never put a giant strength on a Jackal Pup and swung for 4, you don't know what you're missing. Well, it's quite possible you do know what you're missing, because I think that just comes flat out as a creature now. It's like 2 in the red for a 4/3. That's even better than a Jackal Pup. And you can cast it up front with the adventure cost. It's like stomping. I know the 1 in the red is like a stomp, and then the other side is a giant. Yeah. All right. Round number 1. Lost the die roll. So what we have here, we have 1 land. We do have the cycling, but we already have the wizards that we potentially want. I don't think we can keep this. So we have Impulse to Dig. We have half the combo in Thought Lash. And we have Protection with Force of Will in case they're too fast. Like, this doesn't feel good. We also don't have any of the 2 mana lands, which would accelerate. I'm just wondering, can I do better with less? I think so. So I'm going to get rid of at least one of those, and I think at least one of these, and live with it. My thought is Magus of the Moon. Can I beat a Magus of the Moon? I have basic islands, but it's going to be rough. There's an Ancient Tomb. So let's start by giving yourself... Now, that's another thing that changed, how Hideaway works now, especially with Thought Lash. You would be able to set up what your bottom cards were. So here, it's like... If I knew exactly what my bottom card was, Thought Lash could like mill until I get the exact card I want. I'm going to take a Pact so that, like, in an emergency, I have a 0 mana counterspell. But potentially, Red Prison is just going to be bad news for us. What? Okay. So my thought here, instead of playing the Hermit, I think I want the ability to impulse my way out of it. So I'm going to go with that. You may discard 2 cards. If you do, draw that many cards. I guess it's filtering. Like, if they don't have the right hand, it's fixing. Legion War Boss. Okay. I feel like Thought Lash is going to save ourselves from a lot of this. So, I guess we see. The fact that Ancient Tomb is not helping me, though, right? Take 3. Otawara. Surprise and Scary, sorry. Surprise and Scary is the one that comes in tapped and gives you double blue. So if I take Otawara lets me play Thought Lash. All right, so now with this sitting out there, I effectively am preventing the damage to myself. Or I can prevent this incoming, or as much as I need to prevent it, and then clear off the top of the library and go for it if I need to. Now, unfortunately, Paradigm Shift duplicates the benefits I'm going to get from Thought Lash. So having a Paradigm Shift and a Thought Lash is like having 2 of the same thing. So let's see what comes. The big thing that I would worry about is them blowing up our lands. I'm not worried about a Den of the Bugbear. All right, so this is... The good news is this is, quote, just damage. I'm curious how much it is, though. So they get a treasure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I could take all of this and go to 1. And then that way, the big thing I don't want to do is necessarily throw away a bunch of cards and... Oh, I should have prevented at least 1 damage because I've taken myself off of Force of Will. So I could prevent a couple damage here in order to get a Malevolent Hermit in play. Is that worthwhile? Honestly, kind of no. Well, okay, I can swing into them. Okay. See, we lost our Oracle. I'm going to play a Hermit. I'm going to play a Hermit. Pass turn. Now, my thought here... What does it do when it flips? So Blood Moon is terrible for me, and actually I cannot beat Blood Moon unless I draw a bunch of islands. They are at 8. I mean, I'll literally have to just draw Island, Oracle. Okay. They are keeping a couple creatures home, which is smart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. I'm clicking it. It's just not going through. I'm not exact. Are they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No blocks. Okay. Post combat, they've got something. Chalice on X equals 2. Okay, I don't believe I can beat Chalice on X equals 2. Yeah, I can. I just need to get Jace. I need a lot of islands and Jace. Impulse was not it. All right, so we're going to swing. Force them to block. We have multiple Jaces, though. So that's only one of them. We have multiple we could still get. Opponent took it, which is kind of surprising. Okay. Sure, bud. Yeah, we play basically 4 of everything that's relevant. Oh, gotcha. No worries. All right, here comes effectively. It shouldn't be everything. It's just going to be a lot of things. Okay. They're in a mentor. They're in a mentor. And now they have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I do think we are running out of... we might be out of actual islands. Okay, so there is an island, so maybe we're not almost out. So now, 1... the Ottawa is in play. So 1 island, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 1 last island. We have Lotus Petals, though. But I think that's enough that we can go ahead and concede. Maybe not. I'm going to do one last crazy thing. I think Chalice counters this. I want to confirm whether or not Chalice counters the disturb cost. The answer is it does, and therefore that's good enough for me. Because the disturb cost is still going to check the front side of your the converted mana cost or the mana value of the card is still locked in by the front side. So Chalice on 2 did hurt us there. So unfortunately, the Blood Moon, Magus of the Moon deck. Sometimes you have to do things for science. That's the only way. Okay. The Blood Moon, Magus of the Moon, Chalice deck. I think we potentially want to bring more Force of Negations for when they deploy those kind of things, and we need to be able to answer them. I do wonder, is this the kind of deck our opponent would be bringing in Pyroblast? I feel like maybe yes. Being a Chalice deck, it feels strange that they would be. That's okay. Nightbot's a little bit out of control, I think. So here's the thing. I think I want Force of Negation, but at the same time, they have so many creatures, it's hard to believe that I really do want the Force of Negations. I think a Jace. Maybe the Pact of Negations are just not where I want to be. I could use a Hurkle to clean up some of the stuff if they do, or just have it be like a one-time Hail Mary. That could be. Because the Pact of Negation is going to be like when I'm definitely going for it, and I don't want them to be able to kind of ruin our day. All right, I'm going to go with that. We will be on the play. One land again. But I was going to say, if we can find the rest of the lands, Jace sets us up, and we have Force of Negation to protect. Then again, if they have Magus of the Moon here, we're just done. So we're on the draw. I feel like I can't keep that. All right, this feels better. This has almost all the same stuff. So I'm going to keep this. And okay. Did they mulligan to 5. Maybe they have stuff that what are they mulliganing 5 for? All right, they have kept 5. Question: Turn 1 Malevolent Hermit or no? What do I gain by waiting? I could get Trinisphered or something like that. Pass turn. City of Traders, Simian Spirit Guide, Legion War Boss. Okay. I mean, they're just building their way toward... No, I should have stayed home because that forces the Legion War Boss not to swing. Maybe that was correct. Because another creature here that I have all my anti-creature effects starting to look pretty bad. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a +1. That's a lot. Right on time, Force of Will. Well, I would say you can't win them all, but I think that's a little obvious. I think the fact, like we said, we brought in the Force of Negations, but the Force of Negations, while they do set up well against the Blood Moon or the Chalice or a Trinisphere and type effect if they have it, so many of their cards, or some of their threats, even if it was a Magus of the Moon, the creature threats look much more powerful when my answers... There it is. We had the wrong answers for their threats. That's known as a callback. All right, let's play round 2. On the play for this one, we've got mana. We've got a Thassa's Oracle. I'm going to keep. Who knows? This is what this is what keeping 7-card hands look like. All right, let's start with a Shelldock Isle. See what we find. We have Force of Will, Pact of Negation, Step Through, or a Jace. Now, Jace is clever here, because if we can exile our library or get it small enough to play what's under Shelldock Isle, then Jace pops right out. So let's go with Jace. Basic, Plains, Aether Vial. They don't have 80 cards, though, so they could just be D&T. I'm going to deploy Malevolent Hermit. What is this one? A Ganjo. 1 mana, Champion of the Parish, playing Hardcast Thalia. So Hardcast Thalia obviously causes problems for us. And with an Aether Vial, I am least likely to be able to interact. So if they give me the chance to interact, I feel like I should take it. I'm going to see if I can get them to commit. And by commit, I mean, I guess, trade. This is going to act as a removal spell if I can make it. Get myself a Scary. I'm going to get myself a Hermit. Hey, my Devotion to Blue is currently 2. Mother Runes. Mother Runes is going to be a good one. Like, I want to say this is D&T, but is this more... This is humans more than it's D&T, right? They have a 3/3. I'm not going to block a 3/3. Okay. So as of right now, as long as nothing goes wrong, we win. Because I can put the Thassa's Oracle trigger on the stack and then exile my library. So they're going to need to be able to remove Thought Lash here. And actually, we might have it in a couple different ways, because we can remove almost all of it and then pop the Jace out, right? So I like that. I like having multiple options. Enters the battlefield, exile target, resolves. I concur. Okay. These champions are very powerful. I agree. Flicker Wisp is a possibility, so I like having the double option with the Oracle. So that's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I could have just taken it all, right? Well, now we've come this far. Might as well prevent it. We'll let the cumulative upkeep happen. Say yes. Is there any reason not to? Might as well. We'll play our blue. We're going to hold control. We're going to cast Thassa's Oracle. Okay. I'm going to let that come in. We're going to go down to... We could effectively go down to no cards in library. All right. They do not make us click, exile everything. So I do appreciate that. I'm going to call that mono white humans for now. All right. Mono white humans with both Cavern of Souls and Aether Vial. That certainly makes Force of Negation look poor. Not only does it make... Well, okay, Force of Negation looks kind of super bad. The question is Force of Will also bad? And Pact of Negation potentially is as well. So maybe... I think Pact of Negation is potentially the worst one there. We could... If we brought in Chalice of the Void... and they don't have the turn 1 vial or whatever, like we can try to get a Chalice out on 1. I think that might help us also disrupt stuff like Silence or Swords or some of the various stuff like that. So I think that is a pretty easy swap. Then the question is, okay, they're humans. They're going to have like a like swarm type strategy. So I definitely want Thought Lash. I guess the question is, do I want to try to pivot into the Leyline Helm combo? I don't think so. I think we can try this and hope it's good enough. I guess we'll find out if it's good enough. All right. So this is interesting because we have the ability to go get Oracle, the ability to remove our deck, and back up Jace's. Now we only have 2 lands. I'll keep. Cavern, human, Mother Runes. Crap. That is also a human that we did not consider. Okay. Pass turn. I mean, that is a human. Now, does it matter that I let them draw cards? They could have... what's the white pitch elemental? Solemnity? No, that sounds wrong. It's over on the desk somewhere. The white pitch elemental that acts like a Swords to Plowshares. Solemnity is like an enchantment. It's definitely not Solemnity. They're holding up white. Okay. Well, I have paradigm shifts. So, end step, we cycle, step through and get our wizard. Actually, this would work. We cycle, get our wizard, play paradigm shift, put the one card into our deck, which is the spell, and then on our turn play it. As long as they can't disrupt our mana, that's everything. The question, see. I would like a wizard, please. We have been wasteland. Thalia. This is a legal deck our opponent is playing. Solitude. Thank you. I was on the right path with Solemnity. I knew those white pitch creatures don't like spending time with other people. Therefore, very Solitude. This sucks. What's sad is almost if we get another blue source, we're going to play Thassa's Oracle as a blocker. How many land do I play? I need a deck check. Deck check says 10, 14, 20 lands plus 4 Lotus Petals. That doesn't feel like enough. More Caverns on Humans. Correct. Okay, I was like, I know that's a thing. The enchantment where you can't get counters. Correct. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is 3, 6. Yikes. I'm definitely glad I didn't paradigm shift and then get wastelanded. That would have been awkward. Well then, yeah. So, does anything change? We knew they had Thalia. We were just able to counter it the other time. Us being on the play, we have the potential to get Chalice out there. Maybe that can disrupt them. They definitely have 1-drops. The interesting thing with step through, what if we get mana set up in a way that we can bounce creatures? Like, would that ever be good? All right, let's try it again. Hey! Now, this is kind of anemic. This is very anemic. Yeah, but I'm kind of hoping it does. Like, I'm hoping for that to do something. It probably will end up not being relevant, but... And I'm going to deploy the Lotus Petal just in case they go turn 1 Cavern on the Esper Sentinel again. I would rather have the Lotus Petal in play. Okay. Interesting. That's funny. Like we said, if we remove everything else, If we manage to remove our library, what we want to find under there is a Jace. Cavern has finally arrived. It is on human, and here comes an Esper Sentinel. Nope, Champion of the Parish. Well, you did your best, Chalice. You're doing a great job. Pass turn. I mean, I find this interesting that it slowed them down this much. Kite, Sail, Freebooter. Can it take creatures? Non-creature, non-land. You fool! My hand isn't that good. So they're going to take a Force of Will. And they will learn the rest of my hand is not very good. Champion gets pumped. Champion's going to swing for 2. Well, we didn't get a chance to have it last game, did we? The thought was that it might actually do something. So based on what they know of our hand, I'm going to play the island out. We actually sided the Chalice in because I brought it in instead of Pact of Negation. I figured the Chalice had a better chance to do something. Thalia's Lieutenant's a good one. Okay, pump the team. Swing for 6. Things are getting low here. I was going to say, we could still draw. One, two, three. I hope I don't have to play it out as a blocker. All right, consider this. They have 4 cards in hand. They have another Thalia's Lieutenant. 4, 5, 6, 7. Pumping the team. Yeah. I am doing this in hopes of finding a paradigm shift, which we did. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion. Put one of them on top of your library. Okay. I think because we did that, we get to win now. No, I have to make it in a way that Thassa's Oracle doesn't die, right? I need to be able to paradigm shift, only put 2 cards underneath, and only putting 2 cards underneath, mill those with Jace. I think this works. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I can block Thalia's Lieutenant. If I do that, I take 7. I think that's what I got to do. I think this works. All right, so we're at 3 life, right? Can I do it in a way... I could just spend this 2 to play Paradigm Shift. I don't have to get the colorless. Maybe that's better. Let's just play Paradigm Shift. Do I care about them having an extra card? I think no. Okay. All right, our new library is 2 cards big. I would like to play a Jace. I think that works. I'm going to mill myself 2. Draw an empty library. Target player, you. Hot damn! Look at us go. That puts us at a 1-1. Not bad, not bad. All right, I feel pretty good about that. And like that's what's interesting about a combo deck like this. There are so many different pieces. Multiple times I figured I was dead. And had we not put Thassa's Oracle into play, we wouldn't have drawn the paradigm shift in time because I think it went land paradigm shift. So we wouldn't have drawn the paradigm shift in time to enable us to empty the library, to enable us to play Jace, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. I like it when a plan comes together. You know what I mean? Like, it ended up doing exactly what we needed it to do. And that's the best time because it feels like, oh, yeah, I totally planned that. I'm so smart. Sometimes you're not smart. Sometimes you're just lucky. Although I do have to say, what our opponent was doing there, the black-white humans, that is disruptive. I wonder if... Now, I've looked at it before, like a white-blue humans, where you can have Lavinia, and I think there was a new card. Steven was playing Modern, and he had a new blue-white human that I can't remember what it did right now. I'll have to look that up. Oh no, we lost our match. Here is our match. All right, I've got multiple oracles. See, I thought it did... Maybe that's what it was. It was like a Phyrexian Revoker that you get to steal the ability. I think that might have been what it was. And anyway, it was in Modern, so I was more impressive. Maybe it's just not good enough for Legacy. I mean, this gets there eventually as long as nothing goes wrong. Famous last words. As long as nothing goes wrong. All right, Flooded Strand. Volcanic. Oh, no. Something has gone wrong. Ponder. Ponder is a no shuffle. Scheming Fence. I think that's it, but I think we slightly misunderstood and like thought you could name in advance. You can only name a permanent in play, which definitely weakens it. All right, so they're at 4. So we will now get Wastelanded, I'm sure. Are they going to... I was going to say, are they going to end step Mishra's Bauble? Because then they can choose how to stack the triggers. Okay. If they like what they see, then you put the Bauble, then the Delver, so that the Delver flips. If you didn't like what you see, you could draw that card. Hey, look, it's Days. Yawn. I guess we could get them to try to play... We could try to get them to go for it. So they have 6 cards, including Days. I was going to say, I'm sure they have Wasteland, because why wouldn't they? Days. Now, this could be a hard cast Days. That's entirely possible. Or, more likely, float a blue Days. Okay, they are hard casting Days. Second Days. So we now know the first one was cast normal. They now have picked up a Volcanic, and it's one of the 4 cards in their hand. Maybe I should have had the Lotus Petal in play. Okay, Volcanic is back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, buddy. What would be interesting is to go for it. Protect with Pact. Upkeep. Exile all the cards, play an Oracle. Wouldn't that be funny, buddy? Serious things would be funny. I don't know about any of y'all. Opponent thinking. They're paying costs. Play it. Play a... What do you call it? Big Dragon. Come on, it'll be good for you. I didn't realize that I can't even... My whole game plan involves around playing Thought Lash and then Pact of Negationing. I'm only allowed to legally do that if I have the mana. That's how it works. I had it. I had it like the whole time. Just saying. So what would be sweet is if this resolved. Get wrecked. All right. No Wasteland, baby. No Wasteland. All right, they've got nothing. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's put this trigger on the stack. Can I not play this whenever I want to? Did I miss that part? 20 or fewer cards in it. See, I don't know if that works. We're about to find out, though. We're learning. Today is a learning podcast where I was thinking, haha, in response, I've got him now. Okay, that works. I'm so smart. We did it! All right, that felt freaking great. Things we need to do against Delver. So I feel like Chalice has been good against Delver when I've played it out of different decks. I've played it out of 8 cast, things like that. So that interests me. At the same time, Leyline of the Void, when I've seen it played against Delver, turning the Dragon's Rage Channelers into just 1/1s, neutering or basically not letting the Murktide Regent play. That feels interesting. I could bring in Force Negations, but I feel like Force Negation isn't the kind of thing that I want to bring in, if that makes sense. Pact of Negation was a little greedy there. It was interesting that it worked out. I'm not sure if I could always rely on that one working, but Jace costs a lot. I could see trimming that. Now, the question is, do I want to get tricky? If I want to get tricky and I want to bring in the Helm of Obedience, that could be fun. We mull to the Leyline and then just casually helm them. Oh, I like the sound of that. I also like diversifying my threat when I expect them to maybe have Surgical Extraction. I don't know if they're going to have Surgical Extraction, but so I'm taking out Force of Wills and Pact of Negation, and not I am going shields down against them. Shields down against them to give myself access to Chalice of the Void. Yeah, I agree. I think the Helm has to come along with the ley lines, unless I'm doing something like specifically against Reanimator. I guess we'll see here, though. Look how good this hand is! How does it lose? Oh, wait, I got an idea. I have a general idea of how this hand loses. Oh, opponent has mulliganed, and I accept. Maybe they were stream sniping, and they saw my hand, and they were like, "You have a ley line and a chalice." I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. All right, let's take a moment to once again shout out the team. If you are not already following the Team Swish channels, what are you doing with yourself? I mean, you can find our link tree. Oh, thank you, Nightbot. You can find the link tree to be able to get, let's open it up real quick. Patreon, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Make sure you follow that Linktree app down there. You can find past streams. Steven spent multiple hours. Today he's playing... I saw it out of the corner of my eye. What was he playing today? He was playing Blue-Red Prowess in Pioneer. Pioneer is the upcoming Pro Tour format. Might as well take somebody who really knows what they're doing, like Steven. Give him a follow. Give me a follow. Give all of us a follow. All right, round 4. Well, our opponent's on 60 cards again. What do we got here? We've got We have paradigm shifts, but we don't have anything to convert it. We have Jace. This feels better. I'd say we'd be farther away from a second Jace than a second Thought Lash. Flooded Strand. Crack. What do they get? Snow-covered island. Is this a Delver? It's a Ponder. Sorry, I just had an idea of, hey, what's really weird when I used to stream, the MTG bot would tell us like about our opponents. And then I realized, well, that was on Pinter MTG stream. That's a lot different than the current stream, which is the Switch Gaming. And then I realized I probably never set that functionality up. So if I never set that functionality up, that's probably why the functionality is not there. All right, that was a long-winded way of saying Island Go. Okay, Tropical. Do I want... If I go Ancient Tomb, I'm that much further away from Jace. But I take off my ability to have Otawara? I'll take my ability to have Otawara. Actually, if I play Ancient Tomb and they waste me or something like that, that is more punishing than this. So... proceed like that. End step Brainstorm. Okay. Prismatic Vista. Snow-covered Plains. Predicted. How bad does Narset mess with me? It ain't great. Like, I don't have a bunch of drawing, but I foresee that setting up into worse things. Plus, they get to recoup the card. All right, they pitched a second Narset for it. All right. I'm going to deploy a Thought Lash here. I'm doing it to set up the future. Okay. Float mana, activate Narset? Okay. Thought Lash has been bounced. Ponder. Some of this sequencing feels a little interesting, maybe not. Chooses not to shuffle. Okay. So now, this does not work like I want it to. Mills 2 cards, draw a card. The draw a card will not trigger. But if I could have my no cards in my library, that would work. I'm right about that, right? Like Jay says, you have no cards in your library. No, I'm sorry. It mills the 2 and then attempts to draw a card, which Narset would turn off. So I can't draw the card. That's I think the piece that I'm missing. Okay, another Ponder. They have sorcery instant speed activated, so no Shuffle Ponder. Okay. Uro being Uro. No land hit. I will pay my cumulative upkeep for a Paradigm Shift. All right, Force for Quaddle. And I'm not allowed to respond. So we will Shelldock. And Shelldock has found me a Thassa's Oracle. I just have to be mindful about Teferi's interaction here. I can't play it. I can only play things as a sorcery. Does that turn Shelldock off completely? I don't know. Shelldock Isle versus Teferi Time Raveler. Well, crap. Good to know. All right, in case anybody was wondering, you cannot play the cards under Shelldock Isle, thanks to Fairy. All right, and then they have Days Undoing. That's bad for me, too. You just activated Teferi's Plus, and then you're going to, on your own turn, cast Days Undoing? You're not going to wait till my draw step. Okay. You got me. All right, I no longer have... So this is Bant Undoing. They got themselves a new Force of Will with Teferi. Like, I can't do anything about this. This is they have set up their Pillow Fort. There is nothing I can do about the Pillow Fort. Karn is going to go get something. Karn has got a liquid metal coating. That's good enough. All right. So, how do we go faster? They showed that they have Uro. They showed that they have a lot of 1-drops. They have Planeswalkers. I can't really interact with the Planeswalkers, though. Do we go along the same angle as we did against Delver? See, I don't really have things that can pressure... I guess you can get a Malevolent Hermit out, and Malevolent Hermit can go to try to beat up a Planeswalker. I'm just wondering the ponders, the brainstorms, all of that. Days Undoing. It's more the fact that they got Teferi. Once they had Teferi, I would have had the win other than Teferi. So I guess that's something. Two. I didn't think about that. What did we had an Otawara, but we had the Otawara in play, right? I was not thinking about Otawara as a way to mess with them. I really hope I didn't have one in my hand and I just wasn't paying attention. I think I played one out early while while trying to establish my mana. I think that's what I did. This leyline plan does not look good. I mean, I know they have Uro, but it's my attempt at swerving when I don't know that's the right thing to do. We are currently, what are we? We are 2-1, but we are down a game to the Bant, Days Undoing, Narset, whatever combo. So what do we got here? Keep 2-1 with the potential to. They kept 7. So my goal here, I think, is to get Chalice, get them to, let's say, answer Chalice. I guess I could also play Hermit out. Carpet of Flowers. You got me. That would be a reason to play Otawara here. They still got that Ponder. All right, we'll go Hermit. Force pitching, force negation. Okay. What's the back of this say? Non-creature spells you control can't be countered. So they could counter the Oracle. Maybe, okay, I was to say maybe I should play the Chalice there. That would have got forced instead. Yeah, maybe it works out. Four cards in hand. Why would you crack the fetch? Maybe they're setting up for something else? What do you got? So they brainstormed, played, and cracked the fetch. I don't want to play the island to necessarily give them another one. Carpet could grant them white, though, however. Maybe I have to live with that. Still going for blue mana. I mean, they quote don't have cantrips anymore, but they could play Karn. Karn, kill your Chalice. Uh-huh. This is going bad fast. Unfortunately, I was not thinking that. Now I've given them a second island. They play land, go get Lattice and slam Lattice. Oh, then I guess I could then counter it with the Malevolent Hermit. They just went and got Liquid Metal Coating. I do not see a way to just... This ain't going well. That's fine. Huh. That's the correct play. We'd have to, in response... 2 mana, 4 mana. I'm trying to think how... Now that they have Karn Liquid Metal Coating assembled, we're never going to hit a point where we can get more mana than we have right now. And if we never get more mana than we have right now, we can't win the game. Yeah. I think I'm okay conceding there. Just with the idea that... Yeah, like... The fact that they'll be able to spend every turn Stone Rain, repeatable Stone Rain. That's true. I was thinking that the Surprise and Scary that gives the double blue comes in tapped. This is the one I was picturing, Steve. And so I was like, this is the acceleration I could get. Ancient Tomb could be an acceleration point to hit the Thought Lash. But the fact that they're already a Force of Will deck, the next turn they were going to be able to get the... they could have brought Uro back and or be able to, you know, potentially go get a variety of artifacts that they might have in the sideboard. So any of that was up for grabs. All right, sitting at 2-2. Let's play round 5. Round 5, we're playing against a Bomb Diggity. How about that? What do we have here? We have the ability to find wizards. I mean, I like wizards. All right, let's start with Shelldock Isle. Shelldock Isle shows me Counterspell, Wizard Cycler combo. I guess the fact that I'm going to be able to reshuffle here with Step Through, I'm going to hide a Counterspell under it. That's my thought, is that if it comes down to the situation that I'm going for a win, I would rather have the combo element kind of set up. Verdant Catacomb. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Our Bomb Diggity opponent has... Well, crap. First and foremost, targeting me, targeting you, targeting them. Well, I can't let them take my step throughs. They're going to name Force of Will, right? Unless they're watching the stream. And if you are, hello, Abom Diggity. Welcome to the stream. Please don't forget to hit follow as you ghost me. Chose Brainstorm. Joke's on you. That's not in my deck. That's a good idea, though. All right, so they know our hand. They know that we're not messing around because we got Pact Negation. So could choose to impulse for Taiga. What is this? Cabal Therapy coming in hot again. I mean, I might as well. Now they'll play Veteran Explorer. All right, by doing this first, I get to have basic islands, right? Yeah, so step one. Let's go get some basic islands. Okay, so based on what they know, I can't let them get the double action of this, so I have to cash that one in. And I'm going to get a Hermit. And I'm going to Impulse so that they don't know what the other card is. Okay. Based on that, I guess I'm going to get a Thought Lash. Resolves. You may have Hermit or Step Through. Or if they have a second creature to come back with Therapy. They know cards in my hand and yet chose other cards to name. Hey, I know 2 of the cards in your hand. I'm going to name a third one. Thought Lash down. Okay. So, I'm going to play the guy you know. I'm going to play this. So, from their perspective, the only thing they know now is the step through, which we could still Wizard Cycle for. They got some lands over there. Can't be countered. Pro blue. How rude. How am I supposed to deal with that? I'm just going to type rude in the chat. Yeah, that thing's going to kill me. It's also pro blue, right? Yeah, well, of course it is. Let's get Thassa's Oracle so that we can draw some sweet ones. It's technically a sweet one. I guess I could distract them like, hey, you want to attack this Jace? We got Jace. I would rather mill me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I have more than 6 cards on the line? Darn it. Attack. Oh, yeah? Taste it. I really want to know if they're going to attack me or Jace. Give it reach. Gain 5 life. Nice work. What's going to suck is when I draw a Paradigm Shift and I need non-land permanent value 1 or less. Exile all graveyards. We're back in the game. Exile all graveyards is going to set up our Paradigm Shift. This is some big brain plays here. Collector oof. Sure. I've got an idea. So, we could also use this to stay home and block. I guess I could have potentially, because this says 3 or 2. It says 3. I could have used it and then rebought here. So this will exile all the graveyards, which I don't particularly care about. Yep. So that happens. I can end step. Does end step Otawara do anything for me? Not really. I had this game plan with the Otawara, and I just don't know if it matters. Green Sun Zenith for 4. Whatever this is gonna be bad for me. It's probably another shifting Ceratops. Okay. Take 2. So we found another Wizard Cycler. We would have to find... Should be able to buy this back. 5, 6. Jace would have to flip. Not what we wanted. I'm going to take the Thought Lash there. With the idea that we could still cycle into another Oracle. Give it haste. Okay. Where are they going with it? I guess if they didn't do that, they just die. So that makes sense. All right. Do they have any more discard effects? Five. They have 10 points coming in. I can take 8. All right. That worked out. All right. So Nic Fit style. Splashing red, so Jund. So they could have Hidetsugu consuming all. Basically, that was like a hate deck, right? Hate collector oof, counter your blue spells. How big is it? A 5/4 that it's big enough that it can't be bolted either? I'm debating whether I want something like Chalice of the Void, but I think what makes more sense is to have like Leyline of the Void. Leyline of the Void is going to mess with their. Technically, is that how is Veteran Explorer worded? Does Veteran Explorer say that it has to die? Veteran Explorer dies. So if Leyline of the Void is in play, they never get the option. I feel like that means that Pact Negation isn't necessarily what we are worried about. And then maybe I can cut a Step Through. Step Through or Jace. Maybe it's Jace. I just the idea that this is just more copies of the card you need, it's definitely a powerful effect. Pact of Negation is only ever going to be used really proactively for us to try to force the kill, and it doesn't really do me any good if they could have like abrupt decay type stuff, but I want to use Helm of Obedience to steal a Ceratops and attack my opponent. That is the new game plan here. Shifting Ceratops on my team, please. All right, I've got all the Ley Lines of the Void. I have a Surprise and Scary. Hear me out. You got Paradigm Shift and Step. We have a kill. What's up? I want my opponent to reply to my thing and be like, rude. Oh, no way. Okay. So we're just going to kill them. Depending on what they do, we're just going to kill them. This is going to be pretty sweet. You got it, buddy. Resolve. Don't do it. Don't name it. Don't you do it. Don't name it. Thought Lash, you missed. Now, I really hope they don't have another one. Because as it stands right now, we get to get them. Right? No. I have to go get... Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's... Okay, I had a plan and it didn't work. Because if I paradigm shift for 0... I can go get the Oracle. Oracle cost... Okay, I thought I had it, not realizing that Oracle costs 2 more than it actually does. So now that we're there... We could play Jace. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have sideboard Pyroblast? That sucks. I guess, okay, it would have been a lot worse if I would have gone for the paradigm shift, right? I would have just died. Oh, look, it's a Ceratops. Yawn. Oh, okay. The Ceratops is in play. However, it is Veteran Explorer administering the beatdowns. So, hear me out. That Pyroblast got me good. Yep. So I have 3 turns to live. So the question is, do they have more discard for me? They probably do. These are my options. If I get all of that, have I played a land? I played Island. So the question is, do I go for it? On my turn, I'll draw one of those 4. Oracle is not enough to win, so that doesn't do me any good. I think I'm going to wait and try to Impulse here. I'm not trying to grandstand or anything like that. It's more just trying to figure out how not to die or get wrecked by another Pyroblast. Okay. I would love for you to kill Veteran Explorer right now. That's not true, because how it probably dies is bad for me. I have changed my mind. Beginning of combat. Take it. Take 6. So I'm halfway dead. So I have to win next turn. Okay. We did not entirely think this through. Well, that sucks. So this would untap. But he has pro blue, I just die. Yeah, we're just dead. Alright, so I thought that black white humans deck was hateful. Oh no. Yowza. So okay. Do I want Chalice of the Void then as an anti Cabal Therapy, Hierarch, Veteran Explorer, Pyroblast type thing? I'm going to say no because we know they have Force of Vigor. And what I'm going to have to cash in, I think the big problem I had there was thinking I had the win without realizing what step through does is it's really not copies 5 through 8. It's copies 5 through 8 that cost 2 additional mana. And I was just like 2 mana here plus 2 mana, we got it. Instead where I needed 2 plus 4. And that's my fault for not having enough practice. But then again, we're still learning with the deck. We never drew our helm, but maybe we'll draw it this time. I don't know. Let's do our best. We've got a ley line. We've got mana. And I think that might have been part of it too, is I was so happy with the ley lines and thought I had set stuff up so well that it was further away from where we actually needed to win. So I'm going to shell dock. And I'm... Ugh. Oh. So I am going to take a shell dock isle. Can this... You may play the exile, so you can play a land out of it. That's important to know. All right. Once upon a time, there was an ignoble hierarch. Pass turn. So Impulse can look to set us up for a 4-mana play. The 4-mana play, and then when the time comes, we cycle into our wizard. I wonder if it's more... Sure. If it's more interesting to... Now, I feel like this has to be protecting Pyroblast, because why would you not get in the chance to attack there? So we could get a counterspell for protection, that does not add to our mana plan, but that gives us something to do. Hear me out. This gives us a blocker and is kind of like fixing. What if I don't want any of them? Okay. Yeah, Steve, I agree with you. My thought there, it doesn't matter when the shifting Ceratops shows up to ruin my day. Here comes 7 damage. Yikes. No blocks. I don't know what I'm looking at over there. I'm looking off into the distance, angry, questioning whether I need to go Thassa's Oracle beatdowns. If I attack, they block with Veteran Explorer. We don't get any lands. Maybe, I'm going to say, I know that. Do they not know that? Now, okay, again, I had the opportunity to, when I impulsed, I could have taken, I think there was a Lotus Petal there. And then when we Thassa's Oracled, there was a Lotus Petal there. So those are opportunities that existed. All right, we need an Ancient Tomb for our Thought Lash here. That's for sure. And here's a Choke, I'm sure. Yeah, okay. So I feel like I have to stop this. They could just have Pyroblast anyway. Okay. Ancient Tomb. One time. Not quite. Well, unfortunately, we die. Wah, wah. All right. So that ended up being a 2-3. 2-3s aren't that bad. I mean, we got half of our money back for trying out this idea. Now, what I do wonder, one of the things that you lose by not having the brainstorms, the ponder, all your cantrips that normally smooth out your draws, we're trying to trade for speed and power and losing out on the axis of consistency. And you saw a lot of times the losses were due to the lack of consistency. So I have seen other versions of this deck that do play the cantrips and stuff. What's strange about it is the more cantrips and things like that you play, it makes the paradigm shift weaker. The same reason like you wouldn't necessarily play fetch lands, because the more fetch lands you play, that's just clogging stuff up in the graveyard that Paradigm Shift is not going to be able to reliably, reset the library to 0, for example. What I remember playing, and it was a long time ago, I would have to go back and find it. We were either blue-white or we were Bant, and we were playing on the power of Rest in Peace coupled with Energy Field. So for those who aren't 40 years old, Rest in Peace, no. So Rest in Peace is the one that wipes out both players' graveyards equally when it comes into play. Energy Field is 1 and a blue, and it says all damage that would be dealt to you is reduced to 0. However, if a card goes to your graveyard, you have to sacrifice it. Well, if you have the Rest in Peace in play, you can't lose the Energy Field because you'll never have a card go to your graveyard. So based on that synergy, I think I also was playing like the Teferi 3-drop. I feel like we had Helm of Obedience because just like Leyline of the Void, if you already have Rest in Peace, you get to do Helm of Obedience things. But I feel like we had... Is that... Like, I know that we were trying to do multiple combos. I feel like there was a Thassa's Oracle combo there. Maybe it had to do with Thought Lash, but I really would have to dig back in the archives a couple years now, I feel like that was one of the earlier ones we played. So, yeah, it's... I mean, I've definitely seen the deck do well. Like I said, Punishing Waterfalls is the streamer that I've seen played it the most, and I believe he's something like 24-6 over his last 30 matches. So it was definitely very interesting. I think obviously there is raw power there, and if you can harness that power, then you're going to do really well. But the less reliable it is, the less reliable it is. I mean, yeah, that's how it works. Power is great, but with great power comes a lot of mulligans. That's how it works. All right. So I wanted to say thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me a couple hours here. I really do appreciate it. My name is Jeremy. I stream every Wednesday. 5 o'clock is our plan. Don't forget, Steven is out there streaming on the channel Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for Magic, Thursday, Friday for Pokemon. And then you can catch any one of our team members. We're playing a challenge or something like that on the weekend. We will be streaming it. Don't forget, if you missed that link tree before, you want to come to the Discord. Make sure you're following us on Twitch, Twitter, all of those types of things. We have a Patreon. Stuff's going to start coming out with Patreon, as well as those who sub to the Twitch. You're going to have different tiers of the Twitch subs. Will unlock different benefits for you. Speaking of, I'm actually supposed to be joining the guys on Talking Swish podcast this week, and we're going to talk over some of that, so stay tuned. You can find me at jpintermtg on Twitter. You can find the team at The Swish Gaming. And, yeah, we really do appreciate you hanging out with us. I enjoy doing this because of it. It feels like I get to be there with you. So, hopefully you enjoy that part. Discord link is invalid. Well, that's no good. How about this, Steve? Let's go find the link tree. The link tree says... Well, it's not there either. So, I will go into the Discord real quick. I will pull up the invite. I will copy this. I will come back to the chat. I will post this invite. That is, in fact, different. So, are you in the Swish Gaming Discord? Come join the conversation. That's not going to do you any good if we have the wrong Discord link, is it? All right, well, we'll get that fixed. And then come join us in the Discord. How about that? All right, everybody. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great night, and we will see you next time. Take care.